Some people go through life without ever sharing the love of an animal, furry or feathered, and others share a whole bunch of that love through their lifetimes. And with that said, let's share this story about Dory. On the morning of the 10th of October 2019, Hubby was out and about in the garden and picked up this little one. Hubby did his research to see what exact food and how to keep him warm at what temperature. It was like having an infant in your house again, because every 2 hours was feeding time, and in the meantime we needed to pack up to leave for Western Cape. I travelled in my car and Hubby travelled with this little one and our little guy. I had to mimic what the mother dove would have done, and at this point we could see that it was a dove but didn't really know which dove. At the end it was a laughing dove, also called in Afrikaans rooibos duif or napier. He didn't have normal use of one of his feet, and he needed to learn by himself how to get along. We needed to keep him warm and safe at night, and that is why he was in this little cage. Soon enough, we needed to teach this little one to eat by itself. He wasn't in the cage for long at night because he just chose his own spot where he wanted to sleep. Two of his other favorite spots was on top of Hubby or on top of me. Let me tell you something. The first time he walked out into the sunshine out of the door, I was scared to death. Many a scary moment happened after that because we needed to take him out into the sunshine more often. Here in the garage, catching a little bit of sun whilst Hubby are working. We actually tried to teach him how to get along with the other birds and forage for himself so that he can take flight with them, get a mate and do his own thing. But yet every time he returned, I had a scare one day where he flew into one of the neighbors' garden and I couldn't get hold of him and I was scared that he wouldn't make it. So yes, a mother heart broken when that happens. I used to call him in Afrikaans, "Voel, waar's jy?" And soon after he'll walk in. He chose to sit with me, do things with me, chase my feet around, and don't forget, he always go back to Hubby as well. He also wanted to become friends with our little guy, but little guy not so much. He tolerated Dory to a certain extent. A feisty little bugger. You can see how he fights with Hubby's hands here. But Hubby was the only one that could stroke him on his back and he would lift his wings. You can see here his right foot is turned in if you look close. And I do believe that this is a mating pose. He makes a certain sound. Always close by, even if you sit and have a drink or we are outside, he will be at my feet making noises like you can hear here and running for cover if he hears anything which is a different sound. Sometimes a dog barking, other times a bigger bird. In beginning of June 2021, he traveled with us all the way to Gauteng and all the way back in our bakkie. None of this was really easy, but all of it was fun. We had to put him in a cage before we can open the door because he was so fast he just flew out that door and I was scared for his safety. And talk about safety, the unfortunate happened. Oh, my dear, dear little one. He survived once again and healed up pretty nice. My next door neighbor was always worried because she could see him walking around in a garden all hobbly and asked me if I don't want to keep him inside, but unfortunately that is not one of the things we could do. We needed to give him the sunlight and look after him that way. I decided to build him a nest in a bowl and see what he did. And this is him now. Look at that, isn't it too cute? And just like that, another life ended, but the love kept on going. He was loved until the very end, that you can see. You will rest in peace. Love you always.